we go with the subtraction. Now we have done with additions. Where in additions, what we have done is when you add a positive integer, we move forward in the positive direction. When you add a negative integer, we move forward in the negative direction. Now subtraction is exactly the reverse case. So subtraction, when you do a normal subtraction using your number line for natural numbers, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now when you say 6 minus 3, so what you do is you start with 6 and you'll go backwards like 1, 2, 3. When in addition you have moved forward. Now in subtraction you'll move backwards. So subtraction is basically moving backwards. Now when you consider an integer case, so when you consider an integer case, now again you have got two cases, whether to move backwards in this direction or whether to move backwards in this direction. Now again the answer to this question will be given by the number which you are subtracting. Now if it is a positive number which you are subtracting, you will move backwards in this direction. And when you are subtracting a negative number, you will move backwards in this direction. Just the reverse case of addition. In addition, what you have done? You have done. In fact, you have moved forward in the positive direction when you are adding a positive number. So here the reverse case. This is what is I'm speaking about. In addition, you have gone this way. Now, if it is positive integers, you reverse it. Now, in addition, for negative numbers, you have moved forward in this direction. Now, this is the reverse of it. So that is whenever you subtract a positive integer, you will move backwards in this direction. That is, you'll go in this direction towards your left. And when you subtract a negative integer, you will move backward in this direction. Now let us go with again the four cases as we had discussed. We have had four cases: positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, negative, negative, positive. So we'll discuss all the four cases. So firstly, we go with the positive with a positive. Say 4 minus 2. Now 4, you are subtracting a positive integer. So when you are subtracting a positive integer, you will move towards your left. So 4, subtracting a positive integer, so you will move backwards. So 4 minus 2, which is 2. Now, suppose say you are subtracting a negative integer. Suppose say 3 minus 2. So when you are subtracting a negative integer, what we do is we move backwards in this direction. We move backwards in this direction. That is 3. We move backwards 2 units. So 1, 2. So that is 5. Next. So we have gone with positive and a negative. Now we are going with negative and a positive. Now we are subtracting a positive integer. So when you subtract a positive integer, what we do is we go backwards. That is, we move towards your left. So we start with minus 2 and we have to move in this direction because we are moving backwards. So this is the case. Minus 2, 1 unit towards your left, which is minus 3. So this case is minus 3. Next, we go with negative and a negative. Say minus 2 minus 3. Now we are subtracting a negative integer. So when you subtract a negative integer, you move backwards. So this is the direction in which you move. So minus 2. Now move backwards. When you move backwards, this is the case. So minus 2, we have to move 3 units backwards. 1, 2, 3. So now we step on 1. So that is the case. So the simple formula is again this. So this is subtraction is just the opposite case. If you're familiar with addition, the opposite case is subtraction. So in addition, what we have done is when you are adding a positive integer, we'll move forward in the positive direction. When you are adding a negative integer, we move forward in the negative direction. Now the reverse case. So when you subtract a positive integer, we move backwards. That is in this direction. When you subtract a negative integer, we move backwards in this direction, reverse to what we have done in the addition case. So this is all about it. Now I'll do some examples basing on the same. Suppose this is your number line. So 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Suppose you're subtracting some 4 with minus 2. So since you are subtracting a negative number, therefore you will move backwards in this direction. So 4, 1, 2. So you'll end up with 6. Suppose say minus 4, minus of minus 2. Again, we are subtracting a negative integer. So when you subtract a negative integer, you move backward in this direction. So minus 4, 1, 2. So this is minus 2. Now suppose say minus 3 plus 5. Now this is the case of addition. So you are adding a positive number. When you add a positive number, what we do is we move forward in the positive direction. So minus 3 plus 5. So we move in the forward direction. Minus 3 plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll end up with 2. Suppose say this is some minus 2, minus 2, minus 3. Again, you are subtracting a positive integer. So we move backwards. So subtracting a positive integer, we move backwards in this direction. So minus 2, 3 units backwards, 1, 2, 3. So that will give you minus 5. So to summarize all this, to summarize addition and subtraction, these are the 2 points which I am reiterating again and again. The first thing is whenever you do addition, if you are adding a positive integer, you move forward in the positive direction. And if you are adding a negative integer, you move forward in the negative direction. Now subtraction is exactly the reverse case. So when you subtract a positive integer, you move backwards to the reverse case of addition. When you subtract a negative integer, you do the reverse case of what you have done for addition. And today what I will do is I will be giving you a worksheet basing on addition and subtraction. One worksheet you will be doing using your number line. For the other worksheet, don't use the number line, but think of the number line in your mind and try to arrive at the answers directly. So that is it all for this session, and we'll discuss the solutions in the next session.